Welcome to another episode of Healing Through Love. Each week, we share ideas, experiences, and resources to increase the awareness of domestic and family violence and to empower survivors to grow and thrive. We talk with experts who share their advice, or with people who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. This is all about healing through love. And now, here are your hosts, Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson.
The Healing Through Love podcast with Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson. In episode 73, Heidi Nordlund focuses on the crucial role of an open heart, high vibrational living and soul connection in overcoming burdens.
There are real reasons why I'm hating myself. There are real reasons why I feel so stuck and ugly and in the pain and in the suffering and all of it, and repeating all of the mistakes and all of it. There are real reasons for it. And there are real reasons for that it's possible to change it.
The Healing Through Love podcast with Sharlene Lynch and Rose Davidson. Hello, welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Healing Through Love is here to help survivors and victims of family and domestic violence to find their way back to living a more fulfilling and meaningful life. We interview experts and survivors to share their personal stories and offer advice to those who have experienced abuse, no matter where they are on their journey. As well as the Healing Through Love podcast, we hold annual Pamper Days in Adelaide, Australia, for survivors of domestic and family violence. This is where local businesses come together and pay it forward by providing their services and their resources for the day to give our survivors a much-deserved day of indulgence. Recently, Healing Through Love has gone global, and we have people now holding Pamper Days in the US, in Canada, and in Hong Kong. So we're really excited about that. It's a new project for us, and we think that the love should be shared around. We are always looking for organisation or people with similar values to help us with our Pamper Days. And if you want to hold a Pamper Day in your area, please do reach out to us at hello@htlaustralia.org, and we would love to hear from you. Today, my guest is Heidi Nordlund, and Heidi is going to be discussing with us how we can make the rest of our life the best of our life. Now, it's always important to have an open heart with high vibration and a soul connection when clearing blockages of shame, blame, and guilt, and how we can easily and effectively free ourselves from the endless cycle of repeating patterns. As survivors, and I'm a survivor myself, it is hard to break that cycle of blame and guilt and, all the trauma that we go through. So I'm really looking forward to Heidi's conversation. Now, Heidi is a certified, I don't know what that word is, I can't say it, doctor. She's a yoga therapist. She's a Tibetan cranial practitioner and a spiritual healer. She's founded the Soul Renewal Practitioner Training and has, for the last 24 years, assisted people in wholeness, heal at all levels, advance spiritually, and unleash their healer within. She offers a unique combination of Ayurveda and Panchakarma, herbal medicine, yoga, and ancient healing. Now, she's originally from Denmark and now lives in the US. Heidi, I have no idea how to pronounce those words, so you'll be able to help me with that, I'm sure. Welcome to the Healing Through Love podcast, and I'm looking forward to learning from you.
Thank you so much, Rose. I really appreciate that lovely introduction. And let's start with that strange word, because Ayurveda is a Sanskrit term. So there are reasons why it's not so easy to pronounce. And the literal meaning is science of life. And it's the traditional medicine of India.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with Chinese medicine,
yes,
Chinese medicine comes out of China. That's easy enough. But Ayurveda is a similar holistic medical science, but comes out of India and has the Sanskrit word that means how to live in balance with our environment.
Ah, lovely. Thank you so much for clarifying that. I didn't want to spend forever trying to sound it out.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
So
yeah, there's a lot to it.
yeah, to all of the types of medicines out there, whether it's Chinese or Indian or even indigenous medicines, there is a really big learning curve to every one of them, I think. And as a Western person, sometimes we need to really just change how we think about things and think outside the square or the circle, as the case may be, and appreciate that other cultures have different ways of healing.
Yeah, it's so true. And growing up in Denmark, my stepfather, he's now passed on, but he was a surgeon. So I grew up in the Western medicine world. My mom was a secretary for the doctors, Western allopathic medicine. So I had my share of popping pills and believing in surgery and thinking that if anything was wrong or something hurt, it just had to get cut off. So, but I always had a very special, I thought it was special at least, but I felt a deep connection to something more, something bigger than myself. And what I have learned from all my studies in Eastern medicine, Tibetan medicine, the Ayurvedic Indian medicine, and yoga, and various different healing practices, when we feel that there is something more, it's helping us to heal in some remarkable ways. And it also helps us to prevent getting sick in the first place. A lot of diseases, a lot of chronic diseases that cannot be cured with medicine or surgery, they actually come because of that lack of connection, that soul connection that we all have. And so many people will say, oh, but I don't believe in that. Well, whether people believe in things, then there is something bigger than ourselves, and there are a lot of proofs for it. And when we choose to open our heart to embrace something more than ourselves, there's so much to be gained. And so when I, in 1998, went to Nepal to do a yoga teacher training course, that was where I met an Ayurvedic doctor, and first started with herbs and changing some things in my diet. And within a few months, I felt so much better that I gained such deep respect for this science of medicine. And that was where I started integrating a yoga lifestyle after that program. And I started opening my heart to, wow, there is so much more. And it led me to opportunities with books, maybe some of the If you have heard of an autobiography of a yogi, it's kind of like a yoga Bible, and it shares some beautiful stories about how the collective consciousness and how we're all connected and how we can meditate and activate our consciousness in beautiful ways.
Yeah, I'm a great believer in Wiccan. I love Wicca. I think I lean towards those sorts of learnings because I believe that Mother Earth can help heal us in so many ways, and using herbs and crystals and all those sorts of things that can be very beneficial, but you need to have some sort of belief in it. And you're right, you need to open your heart to those sort of thoughts. But I guess as a person who is either undergoing trauma or has come out the other side of that, how can these healings help them?
So one of the very first things is to start recognizing that that we're loved. Because when we have gone through trauma, any type of trauma is so many things, right? So any kind of trauma, any kind of shame or humiliation, abuse, we have lost a belief in ourselves, and we feel extremely guilty, shameful, stuck, hated,
Unloved,
dislike, all of it, right? It's just a downward spiral. So to shift that downward spiral into an upward spiral, to feel some kind of recognition that there is love within, that no matter what we've been through, there is love, there is forgiveness, there is acceptance to be gained and to be had and to be developed. And so one practice that has helped me tremendously, because even, gosh, Rose, I was a really avid meditator, and I believed, if I just sit in meditation for enough hours every day, I will be saved. And then I realized, whoa, I'm the one to save me. Oh my God. Nobody's gonna come and take me up on the white horse and ride off with me. It's just not how it works. And I realized that a lot of the times when I thought I was meditating very deeply, I was actually dissociating. And in that regard, meditation is like a hideout. It's not going to free us because we're hiding. So when I was being met with some practices that allowed me to come home in my heart, and have you heard the saying, you can see your soul through your eyes?
Yes.
So when we look into the mirror and we connect with something, a spark of the love that's within us, call it soul, call it spirit, call it divine, call it whatever. And we stand in front of that mirror and we take a good look into our eyes. There is something that shines in there. And it's like looking into a diamond. And if we think about what a diamond looks like when it's found in the mine, it's black, it's rough, it's ugly. And then it undergoes all this transformation, all this heat and friction and polishing, and what comes out of it, this beautiful diamond, right? And we all are like that rough black diamond in the mine. And we all are undergoing an incredible journey. Call it a spiritual journey, call it a personal journey, call it a cleanse, call it a transformation, whatever it is. It's all, the end goal is that we learn to feel love for ourselves. So if you're standing in front of the mirror, in the morning, or even your car window and you see your reflection, or a shop window and you see your reflection, and you go like, oh my God, I just hate the look of myself. Well, then accept that's where you're at, and then accept that it's possible to change that view by telling oneself, wow, there are real reasons why I'm hating myself. There are real reasons why I feel so stuck and ugly and in the pain and in the suffering and all of it, and repeating all of the mistakes and all of it. There are real reasons for it. And there are real reasons for that it's possible to change it. So a dialogue, when I started learning to love myself, Rose, I had been meditating 2 to 7 hours a day for 15 years. And it took me a week to be able to say I love me without crying. I had been practicing so many things, and still I didn't realize that I am lovable, that I am the one to love. I was loving God. I was loving my masters. I was loving everybody else. And then realizing that, wow, I'm here to love me. It was such a huge game changer for me. And it really started activating some healing abilities within me. It started activating intuitive abilities, and it started activating greater messages within me that started coming. All of a sudden, my prayers would speed up, and I would experience, wow, I prayed for that just last week, and now it's happening. So when little proofs like that start happening in our lives, then we get excited because, wow, there is really something to this. It's the shift from the downward spiral where the momentum is going down to the shift of upward spiral. It's that shift that's really the game changer and the tricky part. And I like the example or the analogy of, if you are on a train and you're going full force in one direction, and if the train is the one going in downward spiral, you can't just jump off the train, you're going to die, right? You can't just force yourself to change when you are stuck in the mud and making poor decisions. You can't trust that your decisions are going to get you somewhere, because the downward spiral is active, it's happening. So if you want to get off that train, you got to slowly slow it down. Find something to believe in. Find something in the mind that will bring happiness in some way, some joy, something to hold on to that you're grateful for, something you can love. If it's not yourself, then find something else to love and be grateful, and acceptance. And then slowly start chipping away at the dialogue with yourself, so you can start slowing that train down and then safely get off that train. And then you may have to do some searching around to find the train you then want to be on and start it in a different direction. Because there are so many trains. There's so many trains to get on.
There are. And, self-love for many of us doesn't come easily, because if you've been in an abusive relationship or even had an abusive childhood, the thing of loving yourself, you feel so unlovable that finding that spark to be able to have that self-love can be a challenge for many people. And practicing gratitude helps. I mean, we should all be grateful that we opened our eyes in the morning and start a new day. So probably the first thing you should be grateful for, that's my belief, that you should be grateful for every single morning. And then, you've got clothes, you've got food, you've got a roof over your head in most cases. Even if you're not living in a house, you still have somewhere to live. And whether it be, in your car or in a tent or whatever, you still got shelter. So that's something to be grateful for. And there's lots of other things, and it doesn't have to be something grand. It can just be the sun shining or something. But if you start the day with gratitude, that builds into feeling of love for all things, I think.
Thank you, Rose, because it's so true. To have this human life is a gift. And I know it does not feel like a gift when it's the downward spiral that is happening, and one thing is just piling on and piling on and piling on, and it's like drowning in the ocean. Yet this planet is a very special place to play. And if we can choose to look at our lives a little bit more playful. It took me a long time to accept that, wow, we can take things a little bit less seriously here. Then it becomes a little bit easier. So how to do that? Well, look at the kids. Look at the kids. No matter how poor they are or what they go through, they somehow find a place to play, right? If we can remember to play, things will get a little bit easier and take things less seriously. So laughing at ourselves. One thing to be grateful for is if you have a friend or a family member that can make you laugh. It's huge. I used to get so offended when somebody would make a joke about something that I took really serious. And it was my loss. They were trying to lighten up. And there is so much to be said about when we can laugh at things. We get into a place when we're laughing, when we think something funny, there is something that literally shifts within our brain. And when we're laughing, we can relax. There is something that opens in our heart, and we start connecting with, call it higher, call it deeper, call it more sincere or authentic or real. There is something that shifts within us when we laugh. So that is one thing to be grateful for, no matter what the humor is.
Yeah, I've got a friend
we can laugh at. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a friend in Canada. She's a laughter yoga teacher.
Oh, and, I love that.
Yeah, and every time I've got a summit on or some sort of online event, she's always wanting to come on and talk about laughter, how laughter is the best medicine. And she's right. You can just laugh by yourself. You don't need to be laughing with other people. And getting into that practice of being able to laugh, it releases so many good feel good hormones that you can't be in a bad mood for very long. And it's a wonderful practice. I love it. I think it's wonderful. And you're right that the more we can laugh at ourselves, just instead of using the negative chatter, just laugh about it and say, well, haha, I'll just do better next time.
Yes. So to just recap, already we have discussed to find something to be grateful for. And laugh, taking life less seriously, recognizing that this planet is a special place for us to play, because the planet Earth is having such a gift of the oppositions. It's the cause of our grief that we are over here and we think the grass is greener on the other side. So envy, jealousy, shaming, putting others down to raise ourselves up, all of the muck that happens comes from these opposites that this planet holds so well. There's light, there's dark, there's hate, there's love, there is good, there's evil. There are all these opposites. And this is why we come here in the first place, because if we are in a place where it's all pink, it's just the pink clouds, it's great for a period of time, maybe millions of earth years. It's great for a long time. We're all blissed out, we're all feeling great, and then all of a sudden we get bored. Like, if you were to only watch movies that are all pink and the hero and predictable, and you get bored. You don't want to watch that all the time, right? We want some drama, we want some action, we want a villain, we want some, and that's what we're doing here. We're playing it out. So if we can truly accept that that's what's happening, and that's why we chose to come here, then we can accept there is no checking out. I used to consider suicide. I wanted to get out of here. I couldn't handle it. It was too much. I was like, no way. What am I going to do? I feel, well, I don't fit in my family. I don't fit in with any friends. I don't fit in any schools. So if we can truly accept, okay, first of all, we chose to come here. Now that sounds so wicked, and it is. And if we step back and take a look at, well, I really easily do get bored and I want the excitement in my life, then this is the planet where the excitement is happening. Just think about it. The news, the newspapers, why is it the way it is because people want it that way.
Mm. Yeah, I know.
People don't want to hear about all the good stuff all the time. People like action. Why do all the big action movies get the biggest draw to the movie theaters? There are reasons for it. So that's what we want. So if we can accept that and accept, wow, I have come here and I take responsibility for that choice because I was bored and here I am. And it's not so fun to be on the side of the haunted one that feels, well, the whole world is out to get me. I am being punished. I am bad. But that's the only way we can get to experience that we are the opposites. If we're not stuck in the other side, how can we get to experience this greatness over here? And that's the journey. That's the transition from, and that's the transformation from the downward spiral, finding our way into coming to the upward spiral, the positive spiral.
Absolutely.
They coexist.
Yeah, there's good and bad to everything. And, the more often we look at the good in something, rather than looking at the negative aspects of a situation or a person, or I'm a great believer. I always believe that people are inherently good, and when something bad happens between us, then I feel disappointed that perhaps my intuition about them wasn't good. So excuse me. I try and look at the good in every situation. Doesn't matter whether it's happening to me or to somebody else. There's always something good that can come out of a bad situation. Heidi, you wanted to share a link at HeidiHealing.com, LSRP. Would you like to share what that might be, and so our listeners can take advantage of that?
Sure. Thank you so much. So on my website, Heidi Healing, I have a place that is health tips, one of the links on there. And one of the choices on the website, where I have a lot of videos where people can find a lot of different practices, and they can sign up. You can sign up for my newsletter. Every single month I give a free gift that will help you to make that shift from the downward spiral to the upward spiral, because I know what it takes. I've gone through it, and I'm helping people every day make that shift and transform into it. And from what I've learned in the last 24 to almost 25 years now, and I've learned a lot of things that make the journey easier. And I know some people say, oh, if it's too easy, then I'm not learning the lesson. Well, getting out of the pit of feeling shameful, stuck in the blame and the guilt, and shifting into this positive spiral, there's nothing easy about it. And it's a matter of, you want to spend the rest of your life doing it, or do you want to spend the next few months doing it so you can make the rest of your life the best of your life?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Heidi, where can people find you if they want to learn more other than on your website, or perhaps work with you?
Absolutely. So I have a YouTube channel at Heidi Nordlund, at Namaskar Healing. Namaskar Healing. Namaskar is the formal greeting in Sanskrit, means I bow to you. And so I have my YouTube channel. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And all those links are on my website, Heidi Healing. And it's also my name, Heidi Nordlund, if that's easier to find, HeidiNordlund.com. And I do a lot of different programs of all different lengths. I have a 28-day transformation starting on Thursday, actually. But by the time this comes out, it may be the next transformation in the new year that will be the one to look forward to. And I do offer a lot of long distance healing. So I am aware that probably a lot of the audience are in Australia, on the other side of the world. And healing energy crosses all of the oceans. It reaches to the other side of the world in a flash, in a blink of an eye, much easier and so powerful, and can be even more effective than the herbs and a lot of things. So I feel very blessed that I've been guided to practices that has helped me open my heart. And this is one of the main reasons why I chose to come to this planet, was to share my gift of coming home into wholeness, into the heart, because that has been my journey. And so Healing Through Love is such a perfect title and perfect name, because when we can truly recognize our own love and point the fingers in that I want love from me instead of I want love for you, which whenever we're wanting something from others, we're giving our power away to those. And every single time we give our power away, we lose ourselves a little bit more. And that takes us in the downward spiral. So to come home into wholeness and gather all parts of ourselves and love it all and accept it all, it's so good. It's so juicy. And it every single time helps to go up the spiral, raising vibration, living at a higher frequency, and then start to really recognize, wow, I'm the creator of my life, and I do have what it takes to create something really special and something amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Vibration is everywhere. Everything has its own vibration. So yeah. The higher our vibration, the better we feel about ourselves and about the world in general. Heidi, it has been an absolute pleasure to share this time with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you so much, Rose. Such a joy.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Healing Through Love. You can get further resources, see the show notes, or simply reach out to us via our website at htlaustralia.org. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to your company next time on the Healing Through Love podcast.